Ghosted comes out April 21st. This is a straight-to Apple TV Plus release. There is no theatrical release as far as I can tell. Ghosted is directed by Dexter Fletcher and stars Captain America himself, Chris Evans as Cole, an average guy, if Chris Evans is somehow an average guy, who goes on a date with Sadie and somehow gets ghosted, a secret agent that travels the world, and somehow he tracks down the secret agent for a second date after she ghosted him. Ghosted makes it onto my April list and to my guest's April list. Shawn Jackson from Lost in the Real joins me to talk about Ghosted, and I want to give him the first word.
My number 9 is Ghosted. I'm not 100% sure how excited I am for this movie. So it stars Chris Evans and Ana De Armas, and coming off of, they just got out of doing The Gray Man together, which was a Netflix movie that cost $300 million or something crazy like that. I don't know if anyone remembers it. And this kind of looks like almost like The Gray Man, but with like a little bit of comedy mixed into it. I like the idea of this story of this normal guy. Chris Evans is playing a normal guy this time, and he is being ghosted by this girl. So it starts off as a romantic comedy, but then you find out she's like a CIA agent or whatever. And Ana De Armas kicking ass. Like, okay, it looks like a lot of fun. I probably would not pay to go see it in theaters, but I'm excited to watch it on streaming.
And it is one of her first movies to come out after the Oscar nomination for Blonde. And there's something interesting about the role reversal of seeing Captain America get ghosted. Here he is, the He-Man alpha male, standard by which all men are judged, and he's getting ghosted.
Yeah,
and goes all around.
And we have Dexter Fletcher is directing it, and he did Rocket Man and Eddie the Eagle with Taron Egerton in both of those movies. And I feel like that's an interesting choice. I like both of those movies, and kind of excited to see him stretch to a more blockbuster type movie. I think it could be a lot of fun.
I agree, and this one is also on my list. And interesting too that Apple TV is getting into the blockbuster game. Number 3 is Ghosted, and Ghosted was on your list as well. I have it higher just because I am high on Ana De Armas. I like so much of what she has done. I think because the Oscars was so much focused on Michelle Yeoh and every other actress that was brilliant in the Best Actress category, that she really got, I think it was right in that she was nominated for playing Marilyn Monroe, and that is a really tough role to play, and she did a great job doing it. The film being good but not great, but her performance is great. So the fact that this is the first film of hers that's coming out after the Oscars, it's an interesting choice that she is playing now the action star to Chris Evans, who's then going to be the one that he is saving. So she's going to be saving Captain America. There's something kind of fun and interesting about that. I love the relatively low budget aesthetic that they're going for in the straight to streaming movie, because this is one that's coming straight to Apple TV Plus. I think that's probably a smart thing, because if it got a wide theatrical release, I don't know that I would be interested in seeing this film.
It just looks a little too generic.
Yes. It kind of has a... remember the Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz movie Night and Day?
Yes, very similar.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that a little bit, and because Night and Day was such an awful movie, if this is one that was coming to theaters, I would be a lot quicker to go, it's a low-budget Night and Day. But because it's coming to streaming, I kind of go, oh, that looks really interesting. Like,
right.
Yeah, so Marilyn Monroe is going to be saving Captain America. Okay, I can get behind that idea. I love the idea of Chris Evans being the guy that needs to be saved. I don't buy, if we're assuming that it's a guy that looks like Chris Evans, I don't buy that a guy that's in that good a shape and that's that good looking would have to go across the pond to pursue a girl that he got ghosted by on a date. And I don't believe that he would not know that he got ghosted. Like, there's the scene in the taxi cab where the British taxi driver is like, "Oh, so she ghosted you?" And he's like, and he's like, really? Like, you're Chris Evans and you don't know you got ghosted? Like, that part is like, he's not playing a special needs character. So like why? Like,
right.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that part of it more than I do that she's a secret agent kind of a thing. So that part of it is, but there's something about Ana De Armas that is just, it's hard for me to like really quantify into words, but there's a likability factor with her
100%
that I haven't been overexposed to her acting body of work as of yet. Like, I've seen her in a few things here and there, and I've looked up different things that she's done, but she hasn't been one that's hit big yet. She hasn't gotten, like, when Margot Robbie was in Wolf of Wall Street, she blew up immediately after that. Like, I hope that we get a lot more of Ana De Armas, and I hope that we don't get sick of her, because she's a very talented actress. And I think
she's definitely I like your point, Brian. She's taking the Margot Robbie route almost. Like, she's choosing a lot of different types of roles. And I think that's what it shows, that you are adaptable and you can do a lot of different things. I think Margot did it, and Anna is doing it. She was Marilyn, she was like in an erotic thriller. She's now in action movies. So she's showing her range. So I think there's going to be a lot of great things to come for Ana De Armas.
And you're right. I forgot about the erotic thriller. Can't remember the name of it but it came out like last winter.
Yeah, it was not that good, but she was good in it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point, is that she's a talented actress who hasn't quite hit the that apex of her career yet. So I think she's still on the rise. I'm a huge fan of her work. Her popping up in a James Bond movie here and there, even if it's just for a cup of coffee. I like that she just does so many different films. I love this looks like an action comedy, that she can show that she has a sense of humor, which I think a lot of leading actresses don't get the opportunity to do very often, or do very well, because everyone's so used to going like, "Oh, she's pretty. She can't be funny. She's pretty." Right. So, for all those reasons, Ghosted is my number 3 film